What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Nathan Fry Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about something that I think every outdoorsman should have in their kit, and that is a basic survival/emergency kit. Now, several years ago I had one that I really liked, but I ended up giving it away, and so recently I went on a quest for something new. And what I came up with was this Bear Grylls basic survival kit. It's made by Gerber. Now, Gerber also makes the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Kit. The Ultimate is a little bit larger, has a few more things in it, but also costs more. But for my purposes, I wanted something small and compact, so I went with the basic kit. I picked this kit up on eBay for about $15. I think Walmart sells it for $20. And one thing I want you to be aware of is that there are two different versions of this kit. This kit comes with waterproof and windproof matches. The kit that I found at Walmart was sold without matches, but instead it had a sewing kit. Now, for my application, I would much rather have the matches. Let's open it up and take a look at what's inside. Then I'll show you some things that I added to it to make it even better. And then I'll tell you who I think the kit is for and who I think it's probably not for. All right, so let's take a quick look at what comes with the Bear Grylls Basic Survival Kit. Of course, it comes with the carrying pouch. It's orange. And on the back, it has some survival guide of how to make signals if you were trying to signal to the air or something like that, and ways to let people know you're okay or you're not okay, you need help. So that could be something that would come in handy. This pouch is not perfectly waterproof, but I would guess that it is water resistant. Then everything comes stored in this little bag. It is like a Ziploc, kind of a glorified heavy-duty Ziploc bag that all of this comes in. The first thing that you're going to notice is it comes with the Bear Grylls Priority of Survival Pocket Guide. This is very common. If you have anything else from Bear Grylls and their survival line, you may already have some of these. But this little guide tells you how to make traps, it tells you how to make a fire, it tells you how to gather water, it tells you how to be rescued. And so depending on your experience level and your knowledge of survival, you may want to get rid of this. But for me, I feel like I don't have tons of experience, and this may be something that would really help me out, help me remember how to build a snare or something like that if I ever got into an emergency situation. Now we come down to the primary survival items in the kit. Let's start over here. It comes with these waterproof, windproof matches. I believe there's 8 of them in here, has a striker on the side. And the nice thing about this kit is that really there's a dual fire starting capability. So you have your matches, but you also have the ferro rod and the striker. So I really like that. Fire is going to be very important to stay warm and to prevent hypothermia if you are in a cold situation especially. And so having that dual option of how to start your fire, I think, is a great thing. Next, we have a little cotton ball. This could be used for tinder, especially with the ferro rod, something to get your fire started. Then right here is the item that I would say probably makes the whole kit worth the value, and that is this nice little folding pocket knife here from Gerber. Now, I watched another review that said their knife came quite sharp. Mine did not. I'm definitely going to throw this on the sharpener and try to get a little bit sharpened up. And then here's some wax string, waxed thread, and some snare wire. So again, many different purposes you might be able to use this for, but primarily for making snares and traps to get some food. Also a length of cordage. This is not paracord, but it would be something similar. And this could be very useful for shelter, for any number of things that you might need to use in a survival situation. And lastly, there is a survival whistle. Now, as I looked over this kit, I felt like there were some very glaring things missing that I wanted. And so let's move this all aside and let's take a look at some of the things that I am going to be adding to this kit. The first glaring omission from the Bear Grylls Basic Survival Kit is that there really is not much there for making any kind of a shelter. Now, if you are in the woods, you may be able to go out and make a lean-to shelter out of fallen sticks and logs. That's all great. But if you were really maybe injured and not able to move that much, or you just don't have that much time before nightfall, you would want something very quick to get some shelter. And so I decided to just pick up these very cheap Mylar blankets. I got 4 of them for something like $4, and I'm going to be putting 1 of them in this kit. Something you can wrap up in if necessary. You could also potentially use it like a little tarp tent. But this is the biggest addition size-wise that I'm going to be putting into the kit, but I feel like it's going to be super important to have that. The next absolutely glaring omission, I believe, is any kind of first aid at all. Now, this is not advertised as a first aid kit, but I believe a good survival kit should have some kind of first aid. Now, this is very basic, but I have a few pieces of gauze in here, and several Band-Aids. It's nothing huge, but it would be enough that in a situation where maybe you got a cut while you're trying to survive, while you're trying to deal with something, this would get you going again. But at least there's a little bit of first aid. There's also an antibacterial wipe I'm going to be adding. Now, the next thing that I felt like I really was worried about is water. If I'm in a situation where I need to gather water and I don't have enough water with me, then I want a way to purify that water. Now, of course, there's an option to boil, but I may not have a way to boil water. I don't have a pot. And so I decided to go ahead and get some of these water purification tablets. And that would give me the option to purify some water from a creek or a stream or something like that for drinking water. Now, there's 10 tablets here. I believe that each tablet does half a gallon. So this would be enough to do 5 gallons of water and would keep you going for quite a while. Now, the problem is, again, if I have no way to store my water, then these tablets are going to be no good. I can't just dump these into a creek. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this quart Ziploc bag and I'm going to be putting it into my survival kit. And this will be an option that I can gather water. I can put my purification tablets in it. And it will just give me a way to store and carry water. And it could be useful for other things in a survival situation as well. The survival kit does come with a way to make snares and traps, but I'm not real confident on that. And a lot of places in my area have streams, and so I decided to make this little survival fishing kit. I've got several different size hooks, a few sinkers, a swivel, and about 50 feet of fishing line. And so I believe that this would give me a great option to be able to maybe catch some worms or bugs and use for bait, and have an option of catching some fish in a survival situation if I needed some food. Now, I was at the dollar store and I picked up this very small flashlight. It has a laser and also a flashlight. But for now, I thought, you know what, it only cost me $1 and it's something that I can just throw in and won't take up much space. Now, the kit did come with this cotton ball, but I felt like that was just not a whole lot. And so I decided to go ahead and take some lint from the dryer. It also makes good tinder, and I decided to add a good wad of that to the kit as well. And then lastly, what I've decided to do is I've decided, because I'm adding all of this into the pouch, it takes extra space. And so I've decided to take this whistle out of the pouch and replace the lanyard on the outside of the pouch with this lanyard whistle, which actually comes from a Bear Grylls knife. Now, I've tested them out, and I believe that they have about equal volume. If anything, this small one may actually be a little bit louder. And so I don't feel like I'm really sacrificing anything, except I'm saving myself space by taking this one out of the pouch and putting this one outside as a lanyard. So now I've got to see if I can fit all this stuff in, and then I'll check back with you and I'll tell you who this kit is for and who it's not for. Well, guys, here it is. It's the Bear Grylls Basic Survival Kit that has now been upgraded quite a bit. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I think saving the space inside for the whistle was a good idea. Anyways, who is this kit for? Who is it not for? I would say, if you're like me and you're hunting on the East Coast here in Pennsylvania, I'm never more than a few miles from the road at most. People almost always know almost exactly where I am. And so I feel like if I was in an emergency situation, theoretically help would be on the way pretty quickly. And I think this is a great kit to get you through a night or even a couple of days. But if you're going to be hiking in the backcountry of Alaska or the Rocky Mountains, then I think you should probably look for something a little bit more exhaustive and comprehensive, especially in the area of first aid. If you're looking for something for a survival kit for your plane or something along those lines where you have more room, then again, look for something more exhaustive, something that's going to have a better a shelter system, something that might even have cooking built into it. There's all kind of survival kits out there. And I would encourage you to try to find something that fits your needs. Again, for me, where I hunt, this is perfect. I can throw it in my pack. It will fit in my pocket. And it's something that I am likely to carry with me because it doesn't take up much space. It doesn't take up much weight. If you enjoyed this video, then I would ask you to please give me a thumbs up down below. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button so that you'll be notified when I put out new content. And until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors.